All right, welcome to another episode of Global Politics, where we focus mainly and probably only on what's going on in Africa. So we're back to South Africa, back to Julius Malema. So now Julius Malema is under fire again for his song "Kill the Boar" or "Shoot the Boar" or whatever. He's been taken to court. I think they found him guilty, so he'll either get fined or make a public apology or get deeper criminal prosecution. Personally, I think public apology is the best or fine. That's what they should do. The main question here is before I get to the next question though, also AfriForum. Now this is what's dangerous here. AfriForum is now pushing for him to get sanctions. And here's what they want the sanctions to be. They want to have him revoked from traveling anywhere in the world. They're going to try to get European countries and America, which I know America would jump on because Elon Musk and Trump hate him. He can't get visas to leave the country. That's what they want. That's not even the worst. Then they want to label him an international criminal, which means that if he leaves and goes to any other part of the world, he would get um, arrested by the ICC. That's what they want to push for. This is extreme stuff. But to me, the most dangerous one is they want to freeze his assets. If he has any dollars and if he's part of any banking system that's controlled by white people, which is basically every banking system, they can freeze his money. That's what he should be looking out for. And to freeze his money, they will say not only is he doing "Kill the Boar" and singing songs that makes him a terrorist and inciting violence, which I don't think he's a terrorist. He's not doing any of those things. All of that in conjunction with him doing fraud in South Africa, which is probably true with the banking scandal. Then the U.S. can say, oh, this guy is an international terrorist. And even though South Africa has its own banking system, it's still part of the SWIFT banking system. The South African government, Ramaphosa may even comply and say, yes, South African banks will follow your directive, international directive, and take his money. So this guy's putting himself in shit. And all I'm trying to say is that he's very stupid. He's supposed to be focusing on the revolution. He should not let Kill the Boar, number one. He's been warned about this several times. He should not let that. And he should also not let his banking scandals, which is true, stealing money and buying houses and living rich, he shouldn't let that ruin his life and mess up his movement. He's supposed to be a socialist. Last time I checked, part of socialism is not banking scandals. So we're going to talk about whether or not that song should be banned in South Africa. But apart from whether it should be banned or not, Julius Malema is actually being played like a fool. He's not at the level of Julius. He's not at the level of Zuma and Ramaphosa, who are old men who are crafty, who know how to break the law and do things and play the game. He needs to become more strategic and realize that even if you win the argument and you say, okay, I have the right to sing "Kill the Boar," you're going to lose the war. And what's at stake in this war is the well-being of Black people in South Africa, in the whole world, since he calls himself a Pan-Africanist. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, when you look at what he's done, before we even go into whether the statements are racist or not, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah,
What is the point of them? What is he trying to elicit?
yeah.
Um, and what is he trying to elicit to his fan base? Because his fan base will be looking at it and be like, what? What's this about? And it's only going to be the very desperate, poor, and stupid that might act on it. So from that point of view, it does look like it's like a very, very trouble-causing, rabble-rousing statement that is not really
You talk about "Kill the
positive
Boar," right?
or
Yeah.
helps. Neither does
You're
it
talking about
help
"Kill the Boar"
anyone,
statement, right?
including those people in the very struggle. Because two wrongs. Yes, two wrongs don't make a right. So yes, so there is no point saying you kill me, so I kill you. That's not how justice works.
Yeah.
Justice is we bring justice to all. So we've made progress. It's not perfect, but I think about it. I'm thinking about it from my own perspective.
Yeah.
Now, when he's looking at it and he's saying it's out of context and blah, 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 I also look at the government. The government has to be very careful. This sort of person is equivalent, although I did say that it's not quite the same as tribalism, but it's the equivalent of a Sowore or an IPOP or these people who want to Biafra or who want to break away
Yeah.
in Nigeria. It's a similar sort of thing. They're very
Yeah.
dangerous actors and they do have support bases. So if you start criminalizing them, if they have a massive support base and they're able to rouse that support base into believing that he's simply being shut down because of who he is and being oppressed. You're now mobilizing and inspiring that base to grow and be even worse. And you're thinking you're dousing the fire, but what you're actually doing by shutting him down and up and down is pouring petrol on the fire. Because you cannot, what if you're oppressed? He can't go anywhere, he's stuck in his country, and he says, you know what? All right, I've got no money. I'm simply going to get popular and just try to revolution myself out of this. That's also quite dangerous. I don't know to what extent that's possible. If he wants to be the face of the far right in Black South Africa.
Yeah,
I
it's funny
had
because he's
thought that
left
he
and right.
was,
He's actually left and right because the right
yes,
part is the nativist
yeah,
movement. Yeah,
yes, he's gone a little bit too far for people who just want justice. People just want
yeah,
justice, and then there are people who want injustice in order to get revenge. And there's just
yeah.
people who just want to live in peace.
I
Yeah,
think
and
he
if you
needs to
want to
focus.
be,
He needs to focus and figure out how he's going to, because his plan is to change the economic system in South Africa. That should be his only goal. All of these speeches and rallying people, it's not helping him, especially since he refused to be part of the national coalition government. So he has to ask himself, what are you building? Are you building a cult following that's just going to cause a revolution, a violent revolution in South Africa? That's just Animal Farm, if you know what I'm saying. The
yeah,
goal is to actually bring racial and justice and equality to South Africa and economic well-being and socialism. And I don't see him doing anything tangible towards that. He got rid of his guys, Ndlozi and the other guy, the one who went to MK party. I forgot the guy's name right now, but he's alienating the people in his party. He has an undemocratic process in his party in which there's no deliberation. He's just running it as a dictator. So I'm wondering, I'm not dissing this guy. I know he has a good heart, but he needs to be more strategic. He has court sessions over and over. He had court sessions for corruption. Now he has it for Kill the Boars. He also has a fraud case. So my thing is that he's a little bit too in America. He's too extra. Sit down and focus. And how is South Africa become a socialist country? He has a mouthpiece. People should be coming out. He should be getting more and more votes from Black people in South Africa, and he should focus on how he can get votes for them and how he can get there to be a movement and a revolution in South Africa in which foreign companies don't control their mineral resources. And but you don't want to alienate the whites, the coloreds, the Nigerian South Africans, people who have citizenship. You don't want to alienate. Although Malema's not, he's not xenophobic. You don't want to alienate different groups because the only way you can win is through a coalition of everybody. Same thing like in the U.S. The blacks, the whites, the racists, everybody have to agree. Where man, we all want money, we all want school, we all want where there's no crime, we want health, education, everything. So let all of us have it. Then after that, we can address some of the more subtle forms of racism. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, also you look at a lot of similarities between Northern Ireland and South Africa's history. The IRA became Sinn Féin. In South Africa, the ANC became a civilized party that's now a ruling party. When the struggle is over, in terms of the struggle against violent oppression, then you should no longer look to the violent oppression. That stage has passed us.
Oh yeah, the
I
Kill the
had said
Boar. Yeah.
before with you privately, we can argue that he can say all these speeches he's making are out of context or not in context. But but at the end of the day, whether he is well-meaning and they genuinely are out of context, he's addressing a very disenfranchised set of angry, uneducated young Black people who have nothing or next to nothing. So, what do you
Yeah,
think they're
I
going
get
to
what you're saying.
do
So
if
this is
they
what you're saying.
respond to
So
this
what you're
kind of
saying that
message?
yeah, what you're saying is that Kill the Boar, probably when he's saying it, it's for metaphorical as a rise to people. But we have to look at the context. There's a lot of Black people who are already angry at what's happened in the country, taking that into account and remembering the racial history that will take that rally into a frenzy, which promotes violence. It even leads to xenophobia because it's still a nativist movement. They'll say, okay, now not only the Boers, but the Nigerians, everybody else. So now the South African government to curtail this, it's not that they're trying to stop his free speech, but they know that what he's saying is volatile given the history of South Africa. So that type of speech, like Kill the Boer, might have to be restricted greatly. Maybe you can do it in your sort of like if you're in KwaZulu Natal or whatever, and you're having like your naming ceremony for your child or something. So in those little areas, you understand what I'm saying? Like in Nigeria when you go to
And
the
there's
Baba.
no ball for miles around.
Yeah, no, but you can't do this openly like that. And I know that, trust me, I'm a revolutionary too. I want to say it too, but you have to look at the country itself and what the country is trying to do. South Africa's constitution said they're trying to have a raceless, classless society. You know, you never have a totally racist classes, but at least have some equality between the races and make sure that racism and injustice are kept to a minimum. So that means you need a very stable country. So we don't need to have extreme situations where you can just sing that song anyhow, and then people can pick what context it is, and some people may use it as a rally cry to violence. Because I'm sure there are people some people when they rob the White Farm, they're singing that song. Yeah, I remember when Malema sang it. So it needs to be curtailed. But the bigger issue, though, I'm still saying, and I think you'd agree, is that we know that he's not really out to kill Boers. But the question is it really wise to sing that song too much right now? And also, he needs to get focused on winning the war, which is for the well-being of South Africa. That's a social economic thing because the country is being held. I don't see South Africans shouting about the fact that why is it that Trump gets to dictate South African policy? Why can Trump say, oh, and Elon Musk say we can put sanctions on Malema, and then Ramaphosa will say yes. So he needs to point to the real problem, which is the government in South Africa, the white and blacks in government. They're still proxies to the U.S. and the U.S. is controlling South African policy, and that's why we have this racial and economic injustice. What are your last thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, my last thoughts are South Africa can
Or
do
not
it.
just your last thoughts. If you have more to say, what are your thoughts? I'm not trying to rush you out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say that South Africa can do it. They need to address their socialist policies. Malema needs to look at the socialist policies, not he needs to step out of this militant stuff. That party is over. That story is over. In America, the reason why they had an inequality, they had the 24 and 1924 and 1929. They had the Dawes and the Young Plan, in which they provided they taxed the wealthy and provided equal opportunity. This is what he should be pushing for. He should be pushing for equal opportunity, looking for ways in which not only can the people better themselves, but better everyone else around with them so that they can create a more productive society with less crime and blah, 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 and all the other indices of a progressive society that you want to see. You can't be doing it by saying death to this, death to that. I want to fight you out. That does not endanger
No,
any kind
trust
of
me, it's
economic
attractive.
growth.
I feel their anger. It's attractive to get revenge and to even sing it, but it's not effective. Now we have to become effective because we're fighting for our life now. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. Yes, and fighting for your life is not only just fighting with the gun, it's also being
No, no,
able
no.
to put food in the ground and grow it and make things and sell it or create an
And also
environment
being able to control
to
your
be
anger
productive.
so that your anger doesn't affect your ability to focus on your work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and and that means to create an environment that provides basic justice for everyone. Because
Yeah.
whether if you have a country that you've now got lots of angry people killing anyone that's not black South African on the streets, that society is not going to thrive. It's going to fail, especially in this modern world. We have to
No, it's
get
not
on
there.
with everyone, be enterprising. And the worst thing you want to do to a foreigner is to try to get them to hate you because the world now depends on the world. Everything we get, no country is on its own. We are all intertwined, and even America exports people from the world to America. We are all from America.
Yeah.
Americans have come from. So you can't now start saying I want to hate everybody and be in my own little circle. You have to be enterprising. Being enterprising is being outward, not inward and hateful and petty and angry. It's not creative. It's just demonic, and it does not generate wealth
Yeah.
or
And
better
and,
life
and it
or
doesn't
justice
the
for
anger
anyone.
that they have towards the Boer or towards even Americans or whatever, it's not going to hurt those people. It's just going to hurt you. It's just going to hurt
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
you might
All
as
right.
well stab yourself in the hand with a knife and be proud of yourself because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it. I will stop my hand as long as like I say I hate you. All right. All right, cool. Take us out, man. Last start, take us out. Yeah.
Yeah, then they'll be sorry. Then they'll be sorry. It's what
Yeah.
it
That
is.
that
It's not right.
I would be sorry too.
Yeah.
That's like people who kill themselves so that their parents can cry. Oh my God.
Bernie Mac will say, I'm sorry for you.
All right. So take us out. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been an interesting insight into the machinations of South African politics and Malemba's somewhat extraordinary songs that have gotten him into trouble again
And you know what's funny? That's a
with
Zulu song.
the
He's not
law.
even Zulu.
And
He's not even Zulu.
let's hope that
Go ahead.
you see. So let's hope that incidents like this do not continue to appear and rear their heads, and we start looking at more critical ways of increasing our lot as human beings for the short whiles that we are on this planet. And so, from myself and Mustafa, we bid you farewell, adieu. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Thanks. Okay.